Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Uh,
Right. All right, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we're going to be starting off by letting you know what we have been up to this week in and outside of game. And then we'll be going over a few blog posts for this week regarding recent Varlamore leaks, the Undead, Pirates, as well as the Defender of Varrock artwork and quality of life update.
yep.
Also, we're going to be, of course, finishing off with our Q&A. So if you want to join along or be a part of that, ask whatever questions you want about games or otherwise. Feel free to join the discord.gg/Bunebape, and there's a question section, or ask anywhere on any of our socials where you can find down below if this is on YouTube or pretty much anywhere that
They should be down
we
below everywhere.
exist. Yeah.
Yeah. I will also say at the end.
Yeah. So make sure to do that whenever you can. And without further ado, before we get into anything else, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. Do you remember my big update I had?
No.
Um,
Oh yeah, I
I
do, but yeah.
I
Okay.
got 98 fishing this week.
Yeah, that's actually it. That's the end of it.
We did Tempe on Friday for the boss bash, and I didn't get the pet, and I was just like kind of doing Tempe on and off all weekend. And on Sunday, I got the Tempe pet, like super spoon. It's a 1 out of 8,000. I got it at 1,860 permits. Well, that's what I had written down at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate that number was. But yeah, I'm so excited. It's my ninth pet. I'm really, really hyped. Robert got to
You're
see it
almost
happen
done.
too. I mean,
You almost got them all.
almost a fifth.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robert was like standing right there when I got it, and I was like, I got it. It was off stream, which is unfortunate, but I'm still excited. I don't care.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I also passed 3,000 Scurry KC, so I'm officially going dry. I'm at 3,020.
Scurrius.
Scurrius KC. Scurry is the name of my child. Sorry, I got
Yeah,
confused
no
there.
scurry yet.
Yeah, I know. No Scurry yet. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, probably like 10,000 KC.
Dude,
That's what I'm guessing.
possible. Isn't the worst? It's
Yeah.
possible.
Actually, maybe even like 30,000.
I was thinking about how collection logging is so weird because like I was at Scurrius and I was like, oh my god, like I want to be done with Scurrius so I could go and like work on collection logging. And I was like, my god, staying at Scurrius forever is collection logging. Like
Yep,
that's weird.
that's true.
When you're doing collection logging and trying to like green log bosses, you could be stuck there your entire life, it feels
Pretty
like.
much literally until the end of time.
Something like that. Other than that, I also did like a bunch of CAs this week. We didn't get any purples in top in the past week, but I did like, I think 3 Vorkath CAs last night, and then also like a Muspa CA and a Duke one, a couple Grandmasters too, which I'm very excited about, and I hope that I can find people to do top CAs with because I really want to finish some top ones, but they're like, obviously I can't do those alone, so we'll see. Um, but yeah. Oh, real life. Did not get that job. I was very upset about
Almost.
it. I'm still kind of sad about it, honestly. After
Almost.
3 interviews, and they all went so well, I think. And then they're like, yeah, no, we went with someone
They just
else.
didn't go that well.
I thought they went really well, but I don't know if I'm just like misunderstanding. So I did email them being like, in a professional way, asking like what went wrong just for future reference, essentially. And I don't know if they're going to email back, but maybe. And yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Oh, and I ended up not uploading anything of Gluten's like missing audio. Mostly I kept forgetting to ask her.
Yeah.
But I'm also like kind of considering just making a Patreon for like podcast shoutouts and general support anyway. We already if you've been listening for a while, we already have one technically, but I never look at it and there's no real benefit. So I
Yeah.
might look into stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what have you been up to?
I have I don't know what up. I actually don't really know. I played some games.
You've been
Um,
busy with work because everyone's calling in.
yeah, well, this weekend was the launch of Last Epoch.
Oh yeah.
So I played a little bit of Last Epoch. Honestly, not a ton. So I think from last week, I mentioned that I had like a javelin character. I got
Yeah.
him to 70 something before I ended up dying. And I'm not playing hardcore, but I kind of act like I am.
You're
So
fake
it's like,
hardcore?
yeah, exactly. So it's like kind of like soft hardcore. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Soft
so I
hardcore.
made a
We can play.
new, yeah, exactly. And they're still having server issues, so I ended up making a new character and played him offline.
Okay.
And it's a like a kind of interesting character, but essentially it's just like focusing on like electricity. So I'll like like slash people, and it'll spawn electricity and like kill everyone. So it's kind of interesting, but I kind of
Hmm.
I haven't been playing it all this week. So
Yeah.
um,
Are you gonna play it this weekend?
maybe not. I'm not really sure. I don't really have any plans for it. Besides that, I did like funny enough playing last Epoch made me want to play Path of Exile.
Oh, I
So
mean, you're gonna say RuneScape. You can see my
no,
face. I was like,
not even a little bit actually.
yeah. I was gonna say, oh, it's kind of random.
No, yeah, made me want to play Path of Exile, and which is obviously pretty much the same game, and that was pretty cool. So I made a character. It's a
In PoE or last epoch?
in Path of Exile. It's
Okay.
a lacerate of hemorrhaging gladiator.
Is it a hemorrhaging? And I was thinking like hemorrhoids, and I was like, wait,
Same
what?
thing. Yeah, same thing. No, essentially like I throw like a wave of damage at the enemy and they bleed and then they explode. Um like dealing a percentage of their health.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Um it's actually really satisfying because like if you like do that and then like, one guy dies, then that causes the next guy to die and that causes the next guy to die. So it's kind of cool.
It's
But
a chain reaction.
yeah, so it's pretty fun, I guess. But like I said, I haven't played that in like days. Feels like lifetimes at this point
Mhm.
because the last few days at work have been so long. But no real game updates besides just playing Path of Exile and Last Epoch. So,
Any inkling of RuneScape coming back?
actually, no, not even a little bit.
The way you said actually, I was like, no.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess I'll say now too as well. As a reminder, I am fundraising for us to go to Runefest on Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or if you're in the EU, very early Saturday. I'm going to be streaming fundraising. I'm going to dress as the sandwich lady this week. And our boss competition this week, we've been doing it every week as well, is what is it? Callisto.
there you go.
It's Callisto, which is spicy because it's in the wilderness, but whoever gets the most money is going to win a free bond, which is worth 10 mil right now. So stop
Yeah,
by.
yeah. Make sure to stop by. Also, I guess like a real life reminder, just so everyone knows. While the month does end on the 29th, most people have to pay rent by the 28th because
What?
people don't do leap years usually.
That's stupid.
Like, even though this year is a leap year and the 29th exists, it's just way easier for everyone to plan for it being the 28th.
Oh, well, this is going to come out on the 29th, so go check if you're late for rent.
Yeah, exactly. But besides that, there was some news this week, so I'll go over it quickly from the subreddit. So,
Sure.
if you are already a frequent subreddit user, you might have seen these. But I thought this was really cool that you can now. I don't know. I don't think this is even a plugin, or maybe it is. I don't know. But from RuneLite, if you bring up your equipment page that shows like your equipment and like your plus strength and stuff like that, from there you can actually click on a button that just shows your DPS calculator and it'll automatically bring up the DPS calculator from the OSRS wiki that we were talking about the other week.
You can do it through RuneLite now.
Yeah, through
Oh,
RuneLite.
I was going to say, didn't we talk about this?
No, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
well, it's through RuneLite, but it's built into the equipment tab. So essentially, like
Nice.
you'll pull up your equipment and it'll show your character like spinning around, and there will be an extra button that says DPS calculator, and it'll bring up a web page for the OSRS DPS
It's
wiki.
actually very cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually in game. Like I said, I never log into the
Maybe just
game.
something that they're thinking about still. Well, I
No,
would say even now.
it's already out. I don't know if it's like a plugin that you have to like have the
Oh.
OSRS wiki plugin installed or
Yeah, or if
something,
it's built in.
or if it's built in, but it does exist. So if you want,
Nice.
I would go look out for that.
Use that. He just scrolled over a meme too.
Yeah. Also, there are some pretty interesting. These are like these are supposedly like hot takes.
Oh, you know what's really funny that we're talking about hot takes
Yeah.
is Spari from Gothic's Res podcast. We had them on here and I was on their podcast before. They were gonna post on their Twitter being like, what are some of like your guys' like takes and stuff? And
Yeah.
we're gonna like talk about how unrealistic they were. That's funny you had the similar idea.
Well, I mean, this was like one of the most popular posts on the subreddit, so maybe they also saw it as well because
Definitely could be.
it had like some of the most interactions, even if it wasn't the most popular. But it was pretty much just a thread saying, "What are some of your most like hottest takes?" And
Oh my God, you have 500.
I wanted to see what ones you agreed with.
Okay, cool.
So this first one is taxes from the GE. should be spent improving Varrock.
I don't even know what that means.
So what if, like, I don't know. All right, let's pretend to take
They
these semi-seriously.
okay.
Like, what if the more money that was taken out of the economy via the GE,
It's railroad traded.
Varrock would like look cooler.
I mean, that'd be funny, but after a certain point, we've given away trillions. They're just gonna have like gold buildings.
That's literally what they say. They say the city should be made out of solid gold at this point.
That's actually, yeah, exactly what I thought. How funny.
Yeah. The next one is early game gear such as Black Sims, for example, are top tier fashion, but uh, like you don't ever use them for training, so they should make it so that they're actually useful.
I think that they are top tier fashionscape, honestly.
Yeah.
Like everyone's very emo in this game. Like, come on. I mean, I agree. I don't know what they would do, but I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, drinking should be a skill so people can actually use pubs.
Yeah. Maybe not a skill, but like something.
That's actually kind of cool.
Fun.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
This person said it's okay to quit if you aren't having fun.
Wait, is that you?
Oh,
Did
no.
you post that?
I did not. I didn't even upload it.
Yeah, sometimes people will be talking and they're like, man, I'm so miserable. I have to max before I could do anything fun. And I'm like, you know, this is a game. You could just do whatever you want.
True.
Like, it's fine.
This one I thought was actually interesting because we've talked about stuff like this before.
Okay.
But what if you were able, if there were worlds specifically for this, where you're able to attack anyone anywhere with no skulls and no
It's like PvP
wait
worlds.
with no skulls and safe deaths.
Oh, safe deaths.
Yeah, so if you're like, oh, I was fighting this Bloodveld and you came over and started fighting my like in the same area, and I'm just gonna kill you.
But
And
you'd get to keep your stuff?
yeah, you keep your stuff. It would just like remove you from the area.
I think it would actually be kind of fun to have safe versions of PvP like that where you can fight. Like, not just LMS, you know, like you could bring your own gear. Because LMS, you would get given gear, right?
Yeah, LMS you find gear.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun. But I don't think they'd ever do that.
Yeah,
But
I think
it'd be good to practice PvE or PvP
yeah, I agree.
if it wasn't taken over by bots like LMS.
I think that would be cool because they have stuff like that in Black Desert, and I think that's like one of the coolest parts. In Black Desert, you do lose stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I like the concept of, oh, I was farming this place, and I don't want you farming this place because it makes my XP worse.
It's like
so I'm gonna kill you.
It's like instead of saying like hop idiot or something like that, you
Yeah.
just kill them.
Yeah, that's like literally what people like, because you'd be farming this like rotation of like, I don't know, 100 mobs or something, and you know it takes like probably a minute to farm all of them.
Yeah.
And then you'd get back to the start and someone was there,
And
and
you kill them.
I mean you could like tell them like hop or like CC, which is change channel.
This is mine.
Yeah, or like I was here first or whatever, and then it's like if I mean there are penalties to being the first one to attack in Black Desert, but like I like the concept of like, we have a disagreement, so let's just see who kills each other first, and then whoever gets it gets it.
It's kind of intense.
Yeah, and what's nice about that game is usually whenever someone does die, they go away. Like it's like
They don't come back for revenge.
yeah, not always. Sometimes they do get angry and come back, obviously, but a lot of times they're all like, all right, I lost. I'm just gonna go change channels or go somewhere else.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't understand why people care whenever someone's in their world, especially when people are like, I went and banked and I came back and someone's here and they're like, hop, and I'm like, I mean, I would just.
It is kind of annoying, finding a new world, I guess, especially if you're already there. But
I guess just nowhere I've been going has been that popular. So like, I'll see anyone, someone could come and crash me, and I'll just be like, oh whatever, and I'll just hop because I don't care to argue.
yeah,
I'm not very argumentative with strangers.
yeah, it makes more
Can't be
difference there because you're farming specifically for gold, which directly turns into upgrades. And the difference between like the best spot and the worst spot could be like multiple times difference in gold.
Oh yeah, I'm literally just thinking of, like Abbey Demons and
Yeah,
Crime.
now in RuneScape it doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be the last one. Slayer bosses should have a chance to roll the superior drop table.
Yes. Actually, they could even just make it more rare, but it's kind of like if you are only doing bosses. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a superior version of the boss or anything, but just like a regular superior, because there's no chance of you getting like imbued heart and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think maybe definitely Definitely make it more rare than it normally is, the 1 out of 200 or whatever, because you're probably already making money bossing.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be like
But for collection sake,
a chance to roll a chance.
yeah. Yeah, because especially like collection logging,
Yeah.
you can't really collect anything from the Slayer superiors.
Yeah.
I think that's actually an okay one.
I was just thinking just now, I was like, it'd be kind of interesting. What if there was a chance to get a superior Slayer boss?
That's what I had to specify. I was like, not like a crazy Cerberus.
Not like crazy, but what if he had like more health? Really, just more health would be enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, what if he was just like a buffed up Cerberus,
Then
which
he'd just be awakened.
instead of 90, well, yeah, I guess so. But instead of like a 90-second Cerb kill, it's like, twice as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it'd be the same fight, just twice as long.
Too much for me. Because then I mean, then there'd have to be like better drops, in my opinion,
I
if
mean,
you
it
made the
would be.
boss. Because it would be awakened.
Well, it wouldn't be
Kind
awakened,
of.
but it would give you access to the superior boss drops.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Okay. And this last one isn't really a last one. I just brought it up because I already know your answer.
Okay.
It's the term AFK needs to be replaced.
Yes. Thank you. Like, you looked away for 5 seconds. That's not okay. People are like, yeah, I'm just AFKing laps, agility laps. I'm like, that's. Either you are actively paying attention or you're letting yourself just stand there not training.
I guess it
You
does
can't
mean
do it.
away from keyboard, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'll AFK it as in I will just leave my character in the same spot on the map for 5 minutes while I leave my desk.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you're actually clicking each lap, that's not AFK.
that's true.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was just something I thought was kind of fun, kind of interesting. It's always I've recently like just been looking at comments of what people are saying and not even like notes or blogs. So it's kind
See,
of
you're like our community source.
I am the community.
He's the community.
Yeah, but in the worst way.
Oh.
No, no, the community is way worse. This game sucks. So,
Oh.
we can go into the first blog of this week. So it's gonna be regarding the recent Varlamore leaks.
Did you
This,
see these?
no, but like I said, I read the comments. I
Okay.
haven't actually read this, but
Yeah, I told him he could read this because it's pretty
I saw a million
short.
people like talking about like the quote unquote like get wrecked noob because apparently people were summing this up by saying that someone was doing market manipulation and got banned for it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll read that in a second.
Yeah,
They straight up say it.
yeah,
But I didn't see any of the market manipulation stuff.
because it was very specific items
Yeah, no, they
like
mentioned it.
the
It's
spirit shield.
spectral spiritual. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, over
Yeah,
the
you're
past few
gonna read a
days,
word since you haven't read it.
that's okay.
Skipping and then I have to be like, can you go back? You actually skipped a very important part.
It's fine. Over the past few days, we noticed a number of videos and screenshots purporting to show sneak peeks or previews of upcoming Varlamore gameplay. And this pretty much isn't true, is what they're saying. Part of our play testing efforts saw unreleased assets added to a version of the game cache. These included idle models, text description, music tracks, and the world map. The videos and screenshots you saw were essentially comprised of the aforementioned assets from the game cache cobbled together for the purpose of market manipulation, namely the Spectral Spirit Shield. The encounters you may have seen are nowhere near representative of real gameplay or false leaks, also
They're false leaks.
other false leaks, also fake commentary from a JMod and some content creators. I mean, this isn't honestly too surprising. I think it's pretty easy if you just, especially for someone like Kieran or Aiza. I haven't seen these videos. I'm just saying in general.
I think they got taken down.
Yeah, good. But in general, these two people are like,
Active in the community.
well, they talk a lot.
So you can just take anything that they say and add it over clips.
Well, you can take what they say and add it over clips, or what I was going to say, because it's becoming more popular, is you can feed a lot of that into an AI and have fake
I'm so
mods.
scared of people doing that with my voice.
Yeah, and yeah, some people that talk more, it's easier. So,
Radio streams from now on. Wait, we have a podcast.
yeah, there you go. But yeah,
So
so,
just don't believe everything you see online.
yeah, unless you see a mod saying it, like via like clipped from the OSRS subreddit
Yeah,
or
or they're sharing on
stream or
Twitter and they're
something.
like, hey, I talked in this video about this. Like,
Yeah,
they have to back it up a little bit, you know?
because it's becoming even easier to fake stuff like that. So
That's
like, I mean, you
scary.
can already fake tweets, that's been a thing forever. So it's like this isn't that surprising, But so yeah, I guess just like be on the lookout for that. But honestly, just use your best judgment. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've banned a number of individuals responsible for the market manipulation, and we will continue to monitor the situation. So people were speculating that this person could have made around 5 to 7 billion flipping during this time.
Really?
I mean, if they maximized
Mm.
their manipulation. So I mean, technically, if they made that much money and sold it off, that's a few $100 that they made.
That's a few thousand. If
Well,
it was
yeah, hundreds or
few thousand.
thousands, whatever. But anyways, they're banned, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, these are not representative of final gameplay.
Oh, they said if you happen to come across anything in the wild.
Yeah, um, which I mean, I think kind of should just be obvious. There's never been a leak for this game, so if you see one, it's probably fake.
Yeah.
We're immensely, I mean, and take never with a grain of salt. So I
How
mean,
dare you
you
say
can
that?
see like the assets and stuff, but that I mean, there's no like they're not going to be like, oh, this boss fight was revealed, months early. No,
They're pretty good at stuff like
yeah,
that. Because
that
I think that
doesn't really happen.
whenever they have people involved, they probably have to sign like literally NDAs.
I don't
I'm
know.
sure.
Yeah, and also the way they do it doesn't seem like how like World of Warcraft does it. Like when World of Warcraft updates their game, all
Hmm.
of the things that are coming in the next update are already there.
Yeah.
So they can be data mined. And so essentially what's coming next week based on the update from this week. So
Oh,
that's how World of Warcraft does it.
that kind of sucks.
So those, yeah, so like those like leaks, those exist because of the way they do it. RuneScape doesn't do it that way.
Yeah.
So if you see a leak, it's a one-off, like disgruntled, like
Employee.
leaker, or like a really weird, like really offhand different thing. So I wouldn't expect to believe any leaks pretty much ever, especially when it comes to like this fight requiring a spirit shield or something.
Yeah. It's gonna be really funny if you actually do need the spectral spirit shield after all this.
I mean, I wouldn't really be surprised.
That'd
They
be
kind
funny.
of already said it's going to be something like Barrows, and it seems to include a lot of overheads. So I mean, it wouldn't be a far fetch to, because I mean, the Elysian is good at Barrows,
Yeah.
so it's like,
If you haven't,
yeah, it's like obviously you're not going to spend a bill to go to Barrows, but I mean that's
says you.
kind of an example. Like you can just if you just have everything, then you'll be prepared. There you go. You don't have to worry about market manipulation. But anyways, as we get near the launch of Varlamore on March 20th, we'll be showing you more of the content in all its glory as it's meant to be shown and meant to be played.
Three
So
weeks.
there you go.
Yeah, I'm excited for Varlamore.
Yeah, I like how they just use the same singular picture for all of these like random blog updates.
Picture is creepy because it has no eyes.
Well, your character
It's just
doesn't have
skin.
eyes.
I know, but it's just skin. But it has eyebrows.
It's just skin, but it has eyebrows.
I have thoughts. I'm good at thinking. It has skin, but eyebrows.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Thanks.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, market manipulation. It's funny because like that. I mean, was market manipulation, but I think that happens on so much more of a grand scale, and people just don't realize that it's kind of like laughable, honestly.
It must have been kind of a big deal, I guess. I didn't see anything about it. I saw the blog post, and people were saying that like the videos or whatever got taken down. So
Yeah,
I don't really know exactly what happened.
it's just funny because like, I mean, there are things that are known in like flipping communities, like I mean, I just assume everyone knows this, but obviously probably a lot of people don't. But like, there are people that own like significant portions of third age items, for example.
Oh yeah,
So it's like, it's just
so they get to control the market.
yeah, it's just market manipulation to like the like infinite degree. Like they can literally just tell you how much an item is because they put in the max buyout price for like third age axe or pickaxes. And so anyone that ever sells a third age pickaxe on the GE, they buy it. So they just have like so many of them. That's why you sell them off market
Which is crazy. They
because
should
of
really just make the buy limit higher in game. 'Cause I
yeah,
think that's such an easy way for there to be issues. Doing
yeah.
it off game.
I mean, that's yeah, it's not the
You can
only
steal
item like
it.
that. So, it's like any item that's over max, there's someone that owns a significant portion of them. Not saying they own all of them, but like chances are if you want one, you can go to like one person that has like a ton of them
Weird.
and just buy it for unfortunately whatever price they want to put.
Hmm.
So, It's just funny because like I don't really see that as a problem, mostly because I don't care. It's a third age item. It's just for show, so it really doesn't matter to me. But also, it's like so much more GP than whatever this handful of people made off of this like one video they made or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of funny because it's big fish, little fish type of thing.
True. Next up, talking about the Defender of Varrock artwork and quality of life updates. So they released a little blog kind of explaining like what was in Defender of Varrock and why they chose to do stuff. Whenever I saw this, I thought that they were going to say that they changed the axe because you were pointing out the axe was kind of weird.
Yeah.
They did not say that. They're just kind of talking about their choices. So they said last week we released the iconic RuneScape quest, Defender of Varrock. So many of you have already revisited this classic story, continuing the Majorat storyline and reunited some familiar faces. Congrats to those of you who have already gotten your hands on the zombie axe. To celebrate the launch of this classic quest, we thought we'd check in with Mod Jerv to see some of the brilliant concept art that helped bring it to life. I was like, what?
Dude, they should just also I just realized they should just call it the Zax.
The Zax? What's the Zax?
The zombie axe.
Oh my gosh, we should start calling it. Can you guys start calling it the Zax?
The Zax.
The Zax.
I'm sure someone's called it that.
It sounds like just Zax.
Yeah. Rest in peace, D-Sim.
Oh. I was like, who's D-Sim? I thought someone died.
Yeah, your boy D-Sim.
I actually really liked the Arav artwork. It's very cool because it looks like his heart's missing and there's scarring all around it. So they said that they wanted to put an old school twist on Arav's original 2008 design. He has a big axe instead of a sword because in OSRS, his statue in the museum display both portray him with an axe. I didn't know that there was even a display of him anywhere. I was shocked and bamboozled and confounded by this.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I think we should go on a quest to find out what cut the shield of Arav in half.
They probably tell us, don't they?
I don't know.
Probably. I don't remember that. Can you say this name?
Sharath Tirk.
Yeah, the Sharath Tirk. This is a gargoyle. So he had quite a simple design. It's a balance between the old school guardians and his iconic facial features. I would recommend you guys all go look because he looks like he's like, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, he's got a serious underbite.
He's got crazy underbite. He looks like a little bulldog guardian. Gargoyle.
Guardian gargoyle.
Next is the Zax, if you will, the zombie axe. They say sometimes less is more and that's okay. So they wanted to keep this as something a little bit more simple and mid-level. So they didn't go all out on like cool and badass, but instead try to find something more grounded and iconic. I think it looks nice, but I think that, the mini one looking weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think most people thought it looked bad in game.
It's just the icon in your pouch, right?
Yeah, the icon in your inventory looked bad.
Yeah, so...
It looked like a mace.
Yeah, they should probably adjust that. Next is the armored zombies. I actually really... we're going to be linking the blog notes if you want to see these pictures. I actually really like that they put this because I didn't notice all the little details on it until I saw this picture. So they say they're really just a bunch of bros being bros. One of them has his helmet on backwards and another has forgotten his leg and his hat. That's what you get when you hire minions with no brains. But I thought it was really cute because like...
He does have brains though.
I thought that was funny too. He literally has his brains showing.
Yeah.
He has brains. But I like the one of the guy wearing the backwards hat for no reason. He's just a dude being a dude.
Okay.
His head's not twisted. It's just his helmet. He's just a guy. He's a guy.
I don't know how that classifies just being a bro, but okay.
Which one are you?
I'm
the guy with the helmet on backwards.
I don't know. I feel like more of like a cape person, I guess.
A cape person?
Yeah.
So like this one?
Yeah.
It has like a hood and stuff and it's like rah.
I mean, they're all like that.
And
They're zombies.
Well, that one especially. It has a little chunk of its thigh missing. Is that you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Anyway, they also had the birthday stream last week. If you guys remember, we didn't get an event. It's fine.
Yeah, literally no event. Kind of lame.
I'm so sad. They said that there was a surprise bot bust during it, which is weird. It's like we're watching like the TV show Cops or something.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna go catch them.
Like a sting operation?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Dude, this kind of reminds me, totally unrelated, but whenever we went on the, I like take the tram to and from work, and it's a public transport. And there's like officers there sometimes that'll like check your boarding.
Doing a sting operation.
Check your boarding pass. I made a joke that they are doing a sting operation because on the opposite tram platform there was like 30 officers like literally 30 officers. Like there's usually like 2 or 3.
What are they trying to catch you not having a boarding pass, getting on the
No,
train?
no, no. I thought they were I thought they were gonna do I thought they were doing like training or something because there's no way that like I mean 30 might even be like a low number.
They're really cracking down on these boarding pass
There was
thieves.
it is honestly so annoying. So annoying. It'll be like
Yeah.
5 o'clock and like you could have already
In the morning,
scanned.
right?
No.
Oh, okay. Nice.
No, they only do it at night. So
Oh.
but like you could have already scanned your pass and then you'll get up to the top and they'll like have you scan it again. And I'm like, who are you giving a hard time to? Like
Also, if someone's so desperate to get home that they are taking the tram illegally, just let them go home.
I
It's
know, I was
fine.
like, if this bum's just trying to get downtown at 5 o'clock, it's just
Go
yeah,
get
like
yours.
what are you doing?
That's how I feel like grocery stores whenever or like Target will lock up toothpaste sometimes and we're like if someone's stealing toothpaste just let them steal the
Yeah.
toothpaste.
Like
Like come on.
I don't really care about the boarding pass thing. It would be, but like there, I mean, sometimes there are some crazy dudes on there, and so like, if they
But they
could
have a
be,
boarding pass
if they could
apparently.
be there for those times and not for just randomly checking, well, not randomly, but checking everyone's boarding pass again, that'd be cool.
Yeah. They're never there for what you need.
Yeah, there was a guy the other day. He was just yelling and cursing and saying all kinds of stuff.
Love it.
Yeah,
Fun. Anyway, there was a little costume,
a bit of fashion
a bit
scape.
of fashion scape going at the party. My favorite one, it's Luffy and Zoro from One Piece.
Yeah.
I think that having Luffy hold the ham joint was literally a strike of genius, and it's one of my favorites. I didn't realize there was Zoro behind him, and then I thought about it, and I was like, wait
Yeah,
a
he's got the
second.
green hair and the katana.
Yeah, and that's all those identifying factors, to be honest.
Actually, kind of, this is gonna be such a nerd thing to say,
All right, loser, go
but
away.
the sword that is typically called a katana, it's not really a katana. But
That's actually not katana. Okay, Robert, tell us the difference.
I'm not gonna go into it.
Because you don't
I
even
want people to
know.
look it up, okay?
He doesn't know.
They're it's actually kind of cool. But anyways,
Said that's actually not a katana.
it's
You guys don't know what you're talking about.
it's not that samurais don't use katana, it's just the one that you think is a katana usually isn't.
Sound like such a nerd.
All right, dude.
This is
Anyways,
really cool.
this is the thing that we're not going to. So Runefest.
Cry. Don't even.
So this is
I'm going to go.
they're having the announcement live stream for updates. So this is going to be on February 29th, which
The
is
day this
tomorrow.
comes out.
You probably already missed it because it happens in the morning usually. There's going to be an announcement live stream for Runefest with Mod Mark. I don't know why it sounds like a DJ name. And
Mod Mark in the house.
Mod Mark and Sween and Mod Doom.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hopefully that they will have this before we record and like have a little blog out so we can go over it on the second half of the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's happening tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are able to participate because by the time you hear this, it'll already be over.
Yep. Also, RuneScape Kingdoms, the role-playing game. There's a little video out from Richard August from Steamforged Games telling you all about this little...
Dude, I love
Little
me a
thing.
Richard August.
Sounds really inappropriate.
Why?
Richard?
Lil
That's-
Richie?
Richard is slang.
Slang for... What is wrong with you?
Thing.
We cannot say that on here.
I didn't even say the word.
We cannot say that on here.
I'll bleep it out, but you know what it means.
No, no one knows what it means. Anyways, set your alarms for 1800 on February 29th. So this actually happens, what, an hour? Yeah. Okay, so they're going
Runefest thing, right?
they're going from the Runefest thing, and
Into
then
a role-playing
I'm sure they're
game.
going to stream that for an hour, and then I'm sure directly going to go into a like,
It's not on our Twitch. It's on High Rollers.
oh, so anyways, well, you can finish the live stream with OSRS, and then you can go to the High Rollers,
Yes.
Europe's biggest RPG streamers. I don't know who they
They're
are.
going to be playing a unique one-shot in the world of RuneScape Kingdoms with, like, just people that we don't know, but also
Except for Aiza.
Aiza and Mohawk are going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one. I don't know Mohawk, so I mean, it's just Aiza.
It's just, like, the one who's, I feel like, is the most front, like, in front of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, if this makes you want to try RuneScape Kingdoms yourself, then you're in luck. It hits retailers around the globe. tomorrow, aka it's already out now. If you are listening, you can buy it on Amazon, from the Steamforge store, wherever you can get your cool little board games, you can find this game.
Yeah, you can buy it for $40. It's literally just it's just a book. So
But it's kind of like D&D.
well, yeah, I'm guessing it is. Anyways, you can pre-order it. It doesn't come out for yeah, for launch date is literally the 29th,
Yeah,
so
so
you can
you don't have
pre-order
to
it.
just get it.
Yeah. And it does look like it has some pretty nice art. So if
It's really
you
pretty.
are like a dungeon master, then you'll probably literally have to pick this up.
Yeah.
So if you plan on using it, that is.
It looks really fun, actually. That'd be cool to play, but I would never in my life want to be a DM ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
It seems so stressful.
They do say that there's a full guide for how to deal with magic, prayer, summoning, as well as over 200 pages of content. So yeah, this is RuneScape, not OSRS.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so there is going to be all kinds of content for you to enjoy or hate. I don't know.
Or 200 pages of stuff, though.
Huge, huge.
But onto actual updates this week. We could just go back and forth too.
Yeah, sure. And by updates, she means this is just a bunch of bullet points they put after all the important stuff.
The update this week. This is all the update is.
Unfortunately. Some other changes, which is the update this week. Zombie lumberjacks now appear consistently, having been suitably told off for their tardiness.
Yeah, probably frustrating for people who are trying to get stuff.
Yeah.
They changed the visuals on the POH options.
Players can now toggle off the Scurrius food pile timer individually when using the enhanced client.
When facing Scurrius, items dropped in public instances will now appear after 3 minutes. Sorry, now disappear after 3 minutes. I was like, wow, they've been around for a long time.
Players can once again hide their Venge animations in PvP. The effect will still apply, and the animation will still play in PvM combat.
Bankers will now give clearer feedback when players are unable to deposit items due to having a full stack of that item in the bank.
Very weird niche thing.
Yeah.
Barbarian Farming's plant pot smashing technique can now be used on spirit tree saplings.
Bottles and why is this gotta be mine? And
Zamora
Gal's hideout will no longer duplicate themselves when picked up, as he saw this as a waste of his phenomenal magic powers.
Sure. I saw someone making a joke about this.
I skipped this earlier. This is finally.
Okay.
Sorry, I've done this a lot.
Cooked Krombuan is now the default cooking option, and selecting Poison Krombuan will prompt a toggleable warning message.
How long have Krombuans been in the game, you think, before they've
Couple days.
this? Bro, finally. Ordorvis now uses different sounds for his range and magic gaze attacks to help distinguish between them.
Yeah, whatever. The clan event menu now lists more bosses, including DT2 bosses and Rev Maledictus.
This is the one that I was most excited about, other than the Krombuans. The Chaos Elemental respawn time has been reduced from 60 seconds to around 15, which would have helped me when I went 3 times the drop rate on the vet.
Quarter of the time. And boss kills log, the boss kills log, accessed via the Ring of Wealth, or the adventures log in the POH, now includes the DT2 bosses.
And Briofita now drops a guaranteed and sold head, just like Obor. Huge things going on this week.
Yeah, very exciting. Max Mad loadouts for PvP, and that is it.
Yeah, that's it for the update.
That's it.
But we do have a full blog to go over about Undead Pirates, rewards, and more.
Yar. And we are back.
Yeah. Hello.
It is the next day. And we have a little bit of an update, or at least I do.
Okay.
Do you have any updates?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What's your update?
Well, my update's actually a couple things I forgot from yesterday, as well as an update randomly on, I mentioned a katana earlier.
Yes, you did.
So just to make sure I wasn't crazy, I went back and looked into the katana. But anyways, I was slightly wrong. So I want to correct myself. Because I said, like, in most movies, the katana isn't the main thing used, but I was thinking specifically indoors, the katana wasn't used very often. It was the smaller of the two swords, the wakizashi.
You sound like such a little nerd.
That's just how it is.
That's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I think that's what I was thinking of, because I've like read into it before, but I wasn't sure. Apparently it's not all the time.
Well, everyone is probably stopped immediately after you said that, upset.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're still here, God bless you.
I know.
I'm glad you took accountability for that.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Also, while reading into that, there's another type of sword that I didn't know the name of. I still forget the name of. I knew existed though, and I looked into it a little bit more, but it's essentially like the two-handed greatsword version of a katana.
Oh,
And the biggest one ever recorded is like 186 inches long.
that's like, how are you even gonna walk around with that?
Well, yeah, apparently it like
For display
it was
only.
only it was popular before the katana. Like it was popular around like 1100
Year.
AD, yeah, year 1100. And then the katana came out like, well, it became more popular like a couple hundred years after that.
They're like, yo, this thing's sick. It's not 10 feet long.
Yeah, they're all
Way
like,
easier to use.
everyone's like, why aren't we just using spears? Because they mainly use the great sword for like horse combat and stuff like that. But then like
So they're 12-foot long sword.
yeah, but then like people, guns came out and they're like, wow, these things suck.
Yeah.
And also spears exist, so
That's the
yeah, kind of went out of style.
yeah.
Also, another thing that's actually RuneScape related that I did forget about, I don't know how I forgot about this, but it was really funny earlier this week. The RS3 Twitter was actually banned.
I saw that.
And
Why?
it was recently unbanned because it had been reported as being an 8-year-old child. But they were luckily able to prove that they aren't an 8-year-old child.
The entire company's not an 8-year-old child.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how.
Thank God.
Could have fooled me. But yeah, so it got unbanned.
They had to organize to get them banned
I
for
don't
being
know.
an 8-year-old child.
I have no idea. But
That is
I didn't really even look into it. I just saw that people were saying that's the reason why. So hopefully it is because I thought it was funny.
I hope
But
that that's hilarious.
also beyond that, whenever the patch did come out this week, there was actually a really weird bug that caused the servers to get rolled back, and it's because you could change your name to anything.
Did we mention this, or were you just telling me?
I was just telling you. I didn't mention
yeah.
this. Yeah,
I'm
so
saying I wish I could have Bunebape. Bunebape's taken.
yeah, so there
But
was
it's an account that doesn't play.
a 3-hour maintenance, and when everyone logged back in, you could change your name to pretty much anything.
That's so funny.
Like you could change, like people had the name Zezima, people had the name like Hi, or literally anything you could change it to. It doesn't matter if someone already had it or not. And they were actually down for maintenance for like another, well, not down, but they were like
Fixing it.
like redoing patches and updates over and over again for like the next like 7 hours or something.
I'm really glad I went to sleep near the beginning of that maintenance.
Yeah.
Wow, that's annoying.
But those are just a couple updates that I thought I should talk about real quick because I forgot them. I should have mentioned them yesterday, but especially the katana one. Sorry, I don't know.
Honestly humiliating. I don't even know if we're gonna put this episode out.
Yeah.
If you're
Also,
listening, I decided to be brave.
I could go on and I could talk about like the change between the Tonto blade and the
Oh,
Wakizashi,
you little nerd.
the
You could.
transition. But Wiki told me a lot.
This is what he gets paid to do at work.
Yeah.
He also was reading these patch notes at work and saying that if anyone looked, he looked like he was probably reading something horrific.
Yeah, because they were horrific.
Yeah.
So the reason I
get into it.
didn't bring this up yesterday is because I didn't read the patch.
Mm-hmm.
But now, having read the patch, I would have mentioned in the last half of the episode how crazy they are.
Well, not the patch. Now we are moving back on to what we are going to talk about. The
Yeah, this is the
Wilderness
poll blog.
blog.
Yeah, the Wilderness Poll blog. We already talked about the patch.
Yeah. Should we just get into it?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
There is feedback on updates on this, by the way, but we're gonna read
Yeah.
the notes first, then feedback.
There is an updated version to this post.
It's long.
We're gonna talk about the original version. Actually, this original version does have some of the updated figures.
Yeah.
So they were changed since.
Yeah. It would just be for us to complain, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyways, though, before we dive into the rewards side of the new wilderness hotspot, that is the Chaos Temple, featuring the new undead pirates.
Still confused why there's undead pirates in the middle there, but
No one knows.
whatever.
So we're gonna look at they actually have a screenshot of a sneak peek from the test world, so you can see what it would look like. It has dwarf cannon setup as well as the chaos druids and the zombies, so you can check out or the pirates, sorry, so you can check out what it would look like if you were to set up with a cannon there. But yeah, it's also for anyone that doesn't know, this is mainly focusing on multi. This is in multi, but you can, they actually do implement something that allows you to kind of carry over into singles. So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
So, starting out with Undead Pirates, we'd like to propose tweaking. I don't know why this is under Undead Pirates. This is
Yeah,
not related.
this is not related to Undead Pirates at all.
Before anything, they wanted to propose tweaking the hard clue step that currently points to the Chaos Temple and move it somewhere a bit less chaotic. We'd also move the associated stash unit, of course. We're doing this because the wilderness clue steps are already risky as is, and nobody dreams of filling their bank with ill-gotten shovels. I think some people do.
Yeah, definitely. Some people definitely do.
So yeah, they're showing where the new thing would be. The screenshot's not big enough, so I can't tell exactly where this is in the wilderness, to be honest. But it looks like kind of middle area, to be honest.
It's pretty far. It's to the left of Laren's chest, which is pretty far in the wilderness.
Oh, is it? Okay, I've never actually been to Laren's chest.
Yeah.
For us, this change is primarily just maintaining the status quo. Where we make changes to wilderness content, we'd like to try to keep the associated risks for things like clue scrolls about the same as before. And now this area is going to become a lot more dangerous, so it might not make the most sense.
Yeah, so that's why they moved it. Well, this is question number 1.
Yeah, question number 1, should they move the hard clue step? And there is a screenshot for you to see exactly where it is, and that will be in the episode notes if you guys want to go look.
Yeah. Also, just so everyone remembers, all these rewards have a bit of a theme. They're all tradable, and they're all intended to be consumed. So long term, this means that economically minded players will see consistent profits from this area as these items remain desirable over time, or at least that is their hopes.
And dreams.
Going into their hopes and dreams. Yeah, so the first item, Chivalry Prayer Scroll.
Best prayer in the book.
Yeah, I don't like this. You'll remember that one of our primary motives in fleshing out this low wilderness level hotspot was to give Zerkers, Peers, and other PvP focused builds a place to hang out.
Just go there to vibe.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that other than why wouldn't they just go in PK, but whatever. This area is unique in that it sits between level 9 and 14 wilderness, so pretty easy. You can teleport out of there. Pretty nice. The perfect spot for builds like this to get their PvP on.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because if you have to go deeper into the Wildy, you're fighting people who are like way more jacked than you. If you have those builds.
I'm just wondering, like, I get that this is their target audience, but why would those particular people go here?
If they're interested in PKing only.
Yeah, in that case, why don't they just PK?
Well, PK where?
I don't know, one of the PvP worlds?
We talked about this. No, we talked about this before, how, like, now it's essentially like they're having to run around and hope that someone's within their level. Whereas, like, if this update goes through, they know a specific area where they are able to PvP. Because a lot of people don't like PvP worlds.
Yeah, sure. But, I mean, this doesn't, I guess this doesn't, like, really solve any of this. Like, you're still going there in hopes that someone is within 9 to 14 levels of you. So, I mean, it's still the same hope. But I guess maybe they're hoping that, like, people are going to want to hang out there or something.
Okay, there's rewards. We're talking about the rewards.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of rewards, we have the scroll. Yeah, so equally, this first reward is aimed at PvP builds. Chivalry isn't a new prayer, although you'd be forgiven for thinking that it is because you probably never used it before. For anyone that knows, this is something that comes from King Ransom's Nightwave.
No recollection of doing that, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. No, you have to.
Yeah, I have no memory of it.
Yeah. So Chivalry comes from the Knight's Waves, and then in order to get Piety, it comes from more of the Knight's Waves. I'm pretty sure, almost certain. But anyways, it requires 60 prayer, 65 defense, and completion of the King's Ransom's Night Waves. In return, it offers a boosted defense, strength, and attack. It's essentially a weaker version of Piety. That's why everyone just uses Piety. But they want to say that Chivalry is not dead. Chivalry is mutually exclusive with Steel Skin, Ultimate Strength, and Incredible Reflexes. Combining these 3 prayers into one is a valuable learning tool for players who are still getting used to prayer switching and the demands of alternative account builds.
Yeah, so the whole point of this is for people who have low defense, they couldn't previously get the scroll. Because the quest or whatever requirements.
Their hopes is that this evens the odds between players with drastically different builds. Although the effects of the prayer are marginal, it makes fights between level 45 defense Zerkers and 70 defense mid-level accounts less of a foregone conclusion, because usually you would just I mean, not just win, but you have a lot higher chance of
Yeah.
winning because you have access to much better prayers as a level 70 defense mid-level account. So that's what they're hoping is to do with this scroll. This scroll, I originally was like, oh, this sounds interesting. You can just use the scroll, and they said it's consumable, so maybe I was originally thinking you die and then you reapply the scroll. Maybe it only lasts for as long as you live or something
You
like
thought it was
that.
temporary.
Brother, this says the one use scroll will unlock chivalry permanently
Yeah.
as long as you have 60 prayer to use it. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say the drop rate, to be fair.
It doesn't matter, bro. You can buy this.
Oh, no, the buying part's weird. But I mean, you could buy most of the prayers. You could buy Dex.
You
could
can't buy piety.
Arcane.
You can't buy chivalry.
Chivalry is not great. Why would anyone want to buy Chivalry?
What the heck? That is crazy. But anyways, question number 2 is, should they add the chivalry prayer scroll to the game and make it a tradable? Yeah, that is all one question, by the way. And we will not adjust the current means of unlocking chivalry.
Cool.
So I'm just wondering, why wouldn't every account just do this?
Because most accounts could just go and get piety instead.
Yeah.
Piety is still significantly better.
But I'm just thinking it's like really, really easy to unlock 60 prayer, like, I don't know, within like the first 5 hours of playing the game or something. And then you'd have access to like a really strong prayer.
I don't know. You're doing some crazy fast prayer runs.
I mean, it's pretty fast.
I don't know.
With one inventory of D-bones at the Chaos Altar, you can get overheads.
Not one inventory. Oh, D-bones. I haven't tried
Yeah,
D-bones.
one inventory of D-bones. So, I mean, maybe it'll take you more than 5 hours, but not much more.
I don't know. I mean, I think regardless, this question is not directed towards something that I'll benefit from, so I really don't have an opinion on it.
Yeah,
I'm never going to have a low defense account. I have no interest.
I don't like it. Also because, I mean, I don't
You don't like the tradable aspect?
Well, I just don't like pretty much every aspect of it, but especially, like, even though I don't have this type of account, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, one, this is kind of like whenever they make area locked accounts easier or something like that. It's like, no, these people are making these accounts with these restrictions in mind, and the fact that you're changing them is weird.
So it's kind of like whenever people complain that they're catering to Iron Men.
Sure. Or catering to anyone. Like, this is like a weird thing. It's like, no, you have foregone chivalry.
Yeah.
That is your choice. If you want a different choice, you make a different account.
That's fair. I don't know that I agree, but that is a fair line of thinking.
Because then now it's just like, it doesn't change anything other than specifically the level 45 account fighting the level 70. Because if you're any other low-level account fighting any other low-level account, you both have bought chivalry, and you both have chivalry, so it's going to be the exact same.
I don't know.
So I think it's such a weird niche that had this item for specifically that one circumstance.
I don't know. I mean, that's just the one example. I'm sure there'll be other ways it's relevant.
Yeah, maybe. And this next
to me,
this next change I hate even more.
Okay, so they want to adjust some of Chivalry's bonuses. As a team, we're committed to giving this prayer a little extra oomph, but we're torn between two very different approaches. Option A, give Chivalry 15% defense, 18% strength, and 20% attack. This approach leans into accuracy bonuses while lowering the usual defense bonus. Higher attack has more value against high defense targets than low defense ones, so its returns are greater when punching up. While you lose some defense in this scenario, we feel that players in the 60 to 69 prayer space are usually fighting NPCs whose damage can be mitigated entirely by protection prayers, so defense isn't all that useful. On the other hand, players taking on the Inferno or Taub might want the extra defense so they can tank hits from multiple combat styles. Option 2 is 20% defense, 18% strength, and 18% attack. This approach simply buffs the attack boost, increasing it from 15 to 18% without altering the strength and defense. This puts Chivalry above Incredible Reflexes while keeping it below Piety in terms of power. While this won't give you quite as much raw accuracy versus high defense enemies, it's a more rounded approach to prayers and will ensure that players retain their all-important defensive stats. So these are a two question. It's fine. Question 3, should we adjust the bonuses? And if we do adjust the bonuses, question 4 is, should you go with option A or B? You don't want it to be adjusted.
Oh,
You're gonna cry. You look so upset.
all right. This might be a hot take, and it's gonna sound a little rude, but I was telling Michelle after I read these notes that no one used a brain when they were making them.
That's very harsh.
I don't mean to sound rude, but like a lot of this stuff either sounds rushed or you didn't put thought into it.
I don't know if
I
I
can prove
agree.
this with one sentence.
Okay.
On the other hand, players taking on the Inferno
Say it in a more dramatic voice if you can.
or the Theater of Blood, the two most difficult things in this game that is on offer, might want the extra defense from Chivalry.
What's wrong with that? Okay, listen.
Brother, if you are
We need to
doing
bring
these
subs.
without piety,
No.
you are.
That literally subs did that.
This is, again, catering to less than 0.01% of players. Who does that?
I wish I would have asked subs his input because he used to be a low like mid or 45 defense whatever account.
Yeah.
And he like went and did like a bunch of stuff. He ended up literally training his defense because he was like, if I'm gonna get GMs, I'd have to get carried for GMs because you can't do it with low defense.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it'd be really, really hard. I'd be curious what he thinks. I think he's the only low defense person that I know.
This is just such a crazy statement.
Not many people fit that criteria.
For any normal human reading this, you're like, oh, you either have not played the game or this is for someone that I've never thought of as a normal human.
I've actually met someone who was like this. So that's why I don't think it's too crazy.
Crazy. So subs is, for anyone that doesn't know, is probably in the top 3 best players that you regularly play with.
I hate to admit that because he's going to be like, oh, so you're saying that men carry you or something. It's an inside joke. He's not like mean.
But
subs, yeah,
you're catering to people that are making such obscure accounts and going for such crazy accomplishments on those accounts for what? Like
fun.
What? They've never had this before. They don't need it.
Yeah.
Like that kind of, well, one, that takes away from the challenge. So everyone that's done it before now has something over that anyone that's done it will do it later.
Well, that's just with everything in the game, you know? Like the prestige.
Yeah, the prestigeness of an account based on prestige.
Yeah.
That'd be like if they're like, like the same thing with those level 3 account things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason they didn't do them is because the community's like, that would make everything dumb.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, your feelings are very strong with this, and I feel like probably the low defense community also has strong feelings. I'm not voting on this poll personally because most of it, like, I don't know if it'd be good or not. I think that the low defense community will make it known what they think.
Yeah, I don't know.
And hopefully they vote a lot.
This just seems weird.
Yeah. But moving on.
Yeah, it just seems really weird. Also, I think by far the attack one is just better, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe someone like subs would use this, but
subs literally just went and trained his defense instead.
Yeah, I think at that point you just come to a crossroads where you're like, oh, because I mean, this will help, but it's like you will eventually come to a new crossroads where you're like,
it's not enough.
Why don't I just get piety?
Yeah.
Then you're making a new account anyways.
How do they make it stop?
Yeah, it's like, you're like, I mean, it's just, it's the same. You could go on this forever. Mm-hmm. I guess is my point. So it's like, it's kind of weird.
But you don't like it.
No, I don't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that.
Also, the fact that it's like, I think it would make it more interesting if the Chivalry scroll was like usable. Like you're like, I'm gonna go PK.
What you're saying.
Yeah, like if it was only usable in the wilderness, and you're like, I'm gonna go PKing, I want to use this. I mean, it would become like a requirement, which would
be its own.
It already would be if they introduce this.
A one-time requirement is very different from a every time that you go requirement.
I guess so.
It is.
No, I mean, it is, but like it'd be a requirement either way, I guess is my point. But one way reduces money in the economy.
Yeah.
Which is like just a side benefit because we have to combat that based on the other stuff they're introducing, which is crazy.
They might, honestly, I could see this failing.
Yeah,
I don't know. It might fail.
I low-key hope all these fail, but
Okay, Jesus. Well, do you hope this one fails?
no, this one's fine.
Yeah.
This is the only fine one out of the whole thing. This is adamant seeds. For anyone that knows what mithril seeds are, this is just the kind of opposite. So as a quick run through mithril seeds, you get 40 of them from the waterfall quest, and you can use them while frozen, while in PvP, while doing pretty much anything, and they move you one tile to the west. You might be wondering, why is this important? It's actually really important because in PvP and you're frozen, you can't move. But if you break line of sight and people aren't able to attack you for, however many seconds, then you can log out.
Yeah, log out or wait till the freeze is done, run away.
Yeah, or if someone doesn't have line of sight of you, they obviously can't range you, so they'd have to run around the corner. Maybe you can spec them out. There's plenty of ways. This adds like a level of complexity to PvP, and this just makes it so there's a new thing that you can do. Instead of going to the west only, you can now go to the east using adamant seeds.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, this
I
seems
never
fine.
use them, but it just seems like it'll make it more fun for people, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Again, I will not be voting in this poll because I am not a PvPer. So if PvPers hate this, don't worry. I won't help it pass.
Yeah, this seems fine.
That is question 5. Next question, the blip blocking scroll. So those Elder Chaos Druids sure do love their tellies, although the same can't be said for their unfortunate victims. If you're sick of being teleported all over the place, you'll be glad to hear this handy scroll will put a stop to it. The blip blocking scroll is a temporary name. They'll come up with something better later. I like the blip blocking, personally.
Blip
It sounds like
blocking.
Blippy, the train person.
It just sounds like lip locking.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's kind of romantic. Like the Chivalry Prayer Scroll, this is a one-time tradable unlock that will vastly improve players' pirate slaying experience. Since it's a reasonably rare drop, we're also considering giving players the ability to block Abyssal Demon's tele attacks. While this would make the scroll a lot more useful, we're concerned that it might buff Slayer too much. In the meantime, we'll let you be the judge. So should we add the blip block scroll, the tradable item that unlocks the ability to block teleportation from the Elder Chaos Druids as described? Question 7. If we add the scroll, should it also prevent teleportation attacks from Abyssal Demons? Being teleported by Abyssal Demons sucks, but unless this is really rare, it might be too good.
Yeah, that's what they say as well.
Yeah, because, I hate being tellied by them, but, if you're not tellied by them, that's... the value of the whip's going to go down like crazy, because everyone could just stay there.
It's still a fairly high Slayer requirement, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't like this. There's not very many.
In the wilderness, I think. The Abyssal Demon's the one I don't like. Because you're in a safe environment.
I don't really like it either way. Mostly, number one for me is, there's not very many interesting mobs in this game. A lot of the mobs is just you're left clicking on them. You're like, oh, what do they do? Mage, range, whatever. What am I overheading? And then you overhead and then you attack. That's for the most part, unless you're fighting some type of tormented demons or something like that. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they teleport you is not that big a deal. And also, even with teleportation, Abbey demons are still one of the best tasks you can get. People don't skip that task.
Yeah.
So that just is kind of a weird thing to me.
Yeah, the Abbey demons too much. But what do you think about in the wilderness with the undead pirate or the chaos druids?
I still think that makes them interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they want this to be a cultural hub for all the low level homies, then maybe that's not cool. But I think something that might be more interesting is you can utilize something that's already in the game. So maybe add a right click feature to teleblock, and you can teleblock yourself, and
Weird.
then that'll make it so you can't teleport and you can't be teleported. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Because then it's would you rather deal with being teleported, or would you rather not be teleported? It's a risk reward type thing.
I feel like the teleportation could potentially be a good thing as well in PvP areas. If you're getting attacked, it could tell you away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you are wanting to go and attack someone, you're getting tellied away, and that's annoying.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes it more interesting, I guess.
It would be really...
As a non-PvPer.
Yeah. It would be a really nice thing to have, and I don't think my idea is the best idea by any means. I was just randomly thinking of something else, because I don't think this is that good of an idea. It just makes the game easier for you're still not going to hang out with your homie. You might go PvP, but if that's the case, you're just going to try and run south anyways, and then just PvP there. So I don't really like it just because it doesn't really make sense.
Okay, that's fair.
Like I said, unless they're trying to actually make this a place where people hang out or something like that.
That's it for the rewards, but there is...
Hey, this is something I mentioned earlier.
Which one? What you say it?
Okay, yeah, sure. So while they do have a large boat that's shipwrecked off the coast near where the zombie pirates are going to be.
There's nowhere that near with water, is there?
Yeah, kind
I
of.
don't know. I need to pull up a map after we record.
Anyways, they say while it's not strictly a reward, this cool-looking pirate ship that you'll find slammed into the wilderness eastern shores houses some chests. You'll be able to open using the zombie pirate keys, an uncommon drop from the undead pirates. When unlocking using a key, these chests will give you an additional roll on their loot table and double any loot received, including uniques.
That's cool.
The aim is to spread a little bit of action into single-way combat, so that's kind of what I was alluding to.
Oh, yeah.
If you are so inclined, but keep the heart of the update in a multi-combat mosh pit.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, the ship also looks dope. Also, I mean, they have the one ship from that quest, like, north of Ectofontis. And,
Yeah.
like, you don't do anything other than the quest, so...
Yeah.
It's nice to have something that you'll go back.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's not very many pirate ships in the game.
Sailing will probably change that.
Well, yeah. I hope so.
But yeah, it seems like something that the game would have a lot, to be honest.
Yeah. And so the next two changes are the two of the worst changes I've ever seen in my whole life. So just so you know.
You want to start or me?
You can go ahead.
All right, so starting out with Fountain of Rune. If you don't know, the Fountain of Rune provides unlimited runes to anyone within its line of sight, which means that you can cast any spell you like indefinitely, but you do not get XP. And this is located in deep, 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 deep Wildy.
Maximum Wildy.
Yeah, it's scary out there. Luckily, players have decided to use these infinite powers responsibly, and the Fountain's main use is as a hotspot for enchanting jewelry or crossbow bolts. We'd like to increase its utility by allowing players to cast alchemy spells on multiple items at once while at the Fountain of Rune. This buff will scale with Wilderness Diary tiers and will let players mow through huge stacks of items, making rapid dents in this old Slayer loot tab. So, just an idea of how they're thinking about buffing it. Easy diary, you get 5 of any given item out at once. Medium is 10, hard 20, and elite 30 any given item at once.
So yeah, just for clarification, in case anyone is confused,
plate bodies.
if you have 1,000 room plate bodies in a stack that are all notes, you'll alch 30 of them in one click.
Yeah, or their example is a rune arrow, because alching a single rune arrow is pain. But if you could alch 30 at a time, that's not so bad.
I guess so. I actually like it when I have a big stack, because then I can alch agility for like a long time.
I've never done alch agility.
Oh, really?
It took me the longest time to realize that you can alch stuff that is noted.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really know a few months ago, and I was like, you guys are just banking all the time?
Honestly,
so annoying.
that took me like a year to realize.
Yeah. Were you actually doing it?
No.
Right?
No.
Okay, I wasn't either. But to put that in perspective, they talk about the rune arrow. I don't really need to talk about that. Basically, how it would be nice. The catch, of course, is that the Fountain of Rune is in an extremely dangerous area at the northernmost tip of the Wildy, and you have to bring the stack of whatever you're looking to alchemize in the first place. It's multi-combat, and you receive a logout timer after casting any spell, so you better be prepared to risk it all. One of the big reasons we're buffing the area is that it already allows players to adjust their level of risk to their comfort levels. You don't have to bring anything you aren't willing to lose, but for the very brave, the rewards are well worth the risk. The numbers we quoted above are open to adjustment in line with feedback, but yeah, question 8 is should they add the Fountain of Rune by allowing players to alchemize multiple items at once?
Yeah, what do you think?
I didn't mind it. I think that they could maybe lower the diary numbers, but I think because it's so deep wildy and because this is like kind of busted, I think that it would have a lot of PKers there, so it would be like risky.
Yeah.
I don't know, potentially risky enough.
So that was your general idea, is you thought it was like not too bad.
Fine. I don't see myself ever doing it because you can go and like make like an absurd amount of money there, but that's very unlikely because you'll probably get PK'd.
Yeah.
Unless you can anti-PK. But yeah, I don't think it's the worst. What do you think? I know you don't like it.
Yeah.
Tell me why you don't like it.
I don't like it. I was just looking up the Wilderness Diaries to see what the like requirements for hard would be. And they are kind of high. 75 woodcutting and 75 smithing would probably take you the longest.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest aren't too bad. Yeah, those are definitely by far the highest, or most annoying to get. So, I mean, they're not too bad to get hard, which is 20 per cast. But yeah, no.
You hate it.
Yeah, I try. I don't want it just to be me like being mad about stuff, so I'll try to say this in like a more reasonable voice.
Sure.
But yeah, this is so incredibly foolish. Like I said, it feels like they just weren't really thinking about this. This seems out of like really out of left field. They never like really, I mean, they said they mentioned it, but that was like so offhand. No one expects you to do anything like this. So the fact that they just like threw this in and they're like, this is surely how we'll fix the wilderness is like really weird to
Mm-hmm.
me. Um, and honestly, the main part, like we were talking about how like weird the amount of gold that's going to be coming from this and the next thing.
Yeah. The
But
next one I think is even weirder.
my main concern with these two things is that they are trying to, and they even say this later in the update that we'll go over, that they're not trying to bait people into the wilderness. That is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. I don't think there's any shame in it. Like you should bait people because that's where you could get PvP.
Yeah, that's where you're
I don't think
wrong.
that's even bad.
Yeah, that's totally wrong. And I'll tell you why right now.
Okay.
Um, I mean, obviously, in my opinion,
No, it's
you're
fact,
yeah,
and I'm wrong, and you hate me.
you're other people are totally gonna have different opinions. But I think it's foolish because if you look at any other PvP game where it's player versus player, you kill someone and you take their stuff. A really good example, Escape from Tarkov.
Tarkar.
Very, 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 popular game. It's a first-person shooter, so obviously it's a little different. But there is loot. You kill someone and you can take all their loot.
Yes.
So very similar in that aspect. The reason that game is fun is because I go into the world and you go into the world and we know when we see each other, we want to kill each other. That is our like
Oh,
probably our number one goal in the game.
and people going to High Elk do not want a
People going to
PvP.
55 Wilderness to High Elk
They do not want to get PK'd or
with
see
a
anyone.
stack of like,
Yeah.
literally 4 million GP worth of rune arrows. Not only do they not want to attack you, they don't want to even smell the scent of you having been there last week.
Yeah. They just want to be completely alone.
They want to wish to never see a speck of life. They want to be on Mars is what
Yeah.
they want to be. And the fact that you're trying to smash these two people together into interacting, these are the two least likely people that would want to interact.
Yes.
PKers don't want to be there because they don't really want money. They just want a good fight. If they want money, they're just going to go deathmatch or something.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing for those other guys. We already said they don't want to see anyone, let alone a PKer. So it's like, why are you trying to force these two people to meet?
Interesting.
It is weird. No other game does this.
They're just probably trying to think of ways to get more PKs in the wilderness because people complain.
Yeah. Like some of the times that people disliked the most of old World of Warcraft was the fact that when you were leveling, you could get ganked,
Oh,
which was getting killed by someone over and over again so that you can't do your quests.
yeah.
That's again
Okay, you've changed my mind.
one of the worst parts of the game for a lot of people was the fact that they couldn't do their basic PvE stuff because of a PvPer,
Yeah.
which is not fun. It just not, isn't. So the fact that you're luring, and they had to do that, which is why that happened. Here, you don't have to go there, so no one is going to go there. The only people that are going to go there, and these are like the main
Are
people's concerns,
anti-PKers.
they're anti-PKers, the PKers looking for a big bounty, or bots or clans.
Yeah.
So you're not helping anyone that you think you might be helping by doing this.
Okay. You've changed my mind on it.
But yeah, that's just my 30-minute analysis of having seen this.
I mean, the next one I think is even weirder.
Yeah, definitely. And just to put like a quick figure on this, if you did utilize this high alking of rune arrows with elite diaries, it's over 5.6 million GP an hour
If you don't
in
get
profit.
PK'd, though.
Yeah, if you don't get PK'd per hour in pure profit.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
botting would be crazy.
and there
I'm sure.
is no requirement other than high alking, obviously.
Yeah.
And, well, okay, that's a bit facetious. There is requirements in that you need the diaries, but
Oh, yeah, to do more than one at a time.
yeah, to do more than one at a time.
Okay. Tell us about the next one.
Okay. So this next one is Wilderness Agility.
I want the wilderness agility to have some kind of reward, but I think that what they suggested is too much.
Yeah, so I will try to break it down a little bit faster because they utilize a lot of words to say this. So they're saying that it provides some solid XP rates for level 52 agility.
I actually went and ran a lot of agility in the Wildy.
Yeah.
But I got sad because there was no marks of grace.
Yeah, there's no marks of grace, and even though it's in the wilderness, you often don't find people there unless they're doing like a clue. They do say that there are other things that you are missing out on. They even bring up the marks of grace, and also at this level range, you could potentially go to the Sepulcher Floor 1, which gives comparable rates and
actual loot.
Okay, they say lucrative rewards. Everyone knows Sepulcher's not lucrative until you can do chest number 4.
In Wildy, you don't get anything.
Yeah, obviously.
So anything's more lucrative.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't you say it'd be interesting if this gave you, like, more XP? And then you're like, oh, maybe I want to go get more XP. I'll go to Wilderness.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the werewolf agility courses, right?
Oh, yeah. Which I also did a little bit of.
Yeah, really good XP, right? So, maybe this blog would be about them increasing the XP of this agility arena. No, that is not what happens.
Yeah.
So this is a fully opt-in system, so you don't have to participate in this GP part we're talking about at all. It will.
It's kind of weird in and of itself. That's optional.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. That being said, you'd be foolish not to opt in because not only does it give you GP, it also gives you better XP. So I don't know why you would not do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's going to cost you 150,000 GP in order to enter into this opt-in. Essentially, you're just going to like put the money in a coffer and then run the laps. And then as you run the laps, you will get items. You'll get alkables and supplies. They say it's roughly going to be 50% alkables and 50% blighted supplies. And they didn't say whether it's going to be noted or not. I assume it is because they're laps.
Presumably, yeah.
And you're going to get them every lap. So would be weird if they weren't.
But also, like, if they're giving you blighted items, why would they note it? So you could go to the... Yeah,
I don't know.
It's not the clearest to us.
Yeah, maybe...
You can see the update on this.
Yeah. So they include the update here, which we'll go over a little bit later.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they want it to be roughly 50 and 50. And for an example, they're gonna between the first 1 and 15 laps, you'll be in tier 1, quote unquote, and it goes up to tier 4 for the loot. Tier 1 is around 10,000 GP per lap, and tier 4, 40,000 GP per lap. We're like, wow, that sounds like a lot of money. It's because that is.
Yeah,
that is a lot of money.
I'm assuming it's like without logging or without leaving.
Yeah, so they say it is without logging, and it is without leaving. If you leave, you have to pay the money again. Once you spend the 150K, it is gone. You can never reclaim it. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just
deleted from the game.
Yeah. So that's around 3.2 million GP per hour.
Once you hit tier 4.
Once you hit tier 4.
That is a lot of money. I saw people tweeting about how bot farmers are probably like very excited about this.
Yeah, and I was thinking for myself personally, I've done this on 4 or 5 different accounts now. Obviously this is in the wilderness, so there's, pluses and minuses to take into account. But I've done like plenty of 4-hour or 400 lap sessions.
Oh, just staying in the same place.
Yeah, which is, that's 400 times 4, that's a lot of GP. That's 16 million GP over the course of me doing my 400 laps.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if our math is correct, but it is a lot of gold.
Is it?
I don't know.
No, because, no, sorry. I think that's wrong.
You said 16 hours, I think.
No, I said 16 million GP. No, that's not good math.
Can we skip the math and just...
No, I have to do this math. No, it's 4 million. No, yeah, it's 4 million times 4.
You get 3 million an hour. How many hours are you there?
I don't know. How would I know that?
That's the part that matters.
I'm just talking about per lap. I don't really think about time. I'm just like, watching Netflix and, clicking on the route.
Okay, well, I don't know.
But anyways, 100 laps times 40,000. That's 4 million.
Like 4 bill.
Yeah, that's 4 million. And then if you did 400 laps, it's 16 mil.
Is it fun watching us do math, I wonder?
No, I was right. It's 16 mil.
16 bill.
16 trill.
Yeah.
Yeah, about to get done. Anyways,
He's getting bucks on
I
the
thought that
trot.
was kind of a lot, but
It is.
yeah, because it is kind of a lot.
If you
Yeah.
have 3 million an hour, is that more than Vorkath?
I think it's pretty close.
That's
I haven't
weird.
checked in a long time. Vorkath used to be like 4 mil. I mean, it used to be 5 mil before that, but
Okay.
prices go down. So I mean, I think you might make more of Vorkath, but you need more than 45 agility to go to Vorkath. So
Yeah.
anyways, that's kind of weird. Also, on top of that, it's really, really easy to do these because every time you touch the chest at the end or whatever, it restores your run energy. So you have infinite run energy essentially.
That one's actually not bad because whenever you're training there, your entire inventory is filled up with staminas and food because you fall into the ground onto a bed of spikes a lot.
Yeah.
So that one I don't mind. That combined with 3 mil an hour is kind of busted.
Yeah. I think it's weird because no other agility course in the game does that. So it's kind of
Sepulchre
weird.
has that. The end
This
of everything, yeah, you can click it.
yeah, Sepulcher might have
So
that.
it's not unprecedented.
Yeah, it's not unprecedented, but it is still kind of weird in my opinion.
I think
Also,
sorry, I don't think you
no, go
can
ahead.
run out of agility on any, or sorry, run on anything because the laps are never fast enough. I never bring agility pots with me.
Yeah, you're probably right. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really.
So that one
I've
actually
only ever
makes
ran like
sense.
5 courses, but
Yeah. Okay, so that one's fine. The money part's weird.
I guess so. It's still kind of weird.
And then because it's not just money.
The thing is, you're not even spending your money because you have unlimited run energy, so that's kind of even weirder.
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of counterintuitive. Anyways, again, if you have opted in, which why wouldn't you? You also get additional XP. This works the exact same way as pest control, for example. So the more tokens you stack up, and you get tokens each lap, you get a bigger XP multiplier, up to 15% additional XP per token.
It's just like the gold thing. The longer you are consistently there, the more XP you're getting.
Yeah, they're focusing on risk reward. So
Yes.
like they want you to be like running, the laps, and then if you have the 16 mil like me, then people are like, oh, we're looking for a juicy PK, give me 16 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I guess but these they don't drop. If you lose tokens from dying, you just lose them. They're just gone. You just lose the XP.
I feel like this is kind of a little bit going the same route as forestry, where they're taking a simple skill and maybe making a little bit too extra.
Yeah, it's kind of
Because
weird.
there's tokens, there's XP boost, there's gold boost, there's the run stamina.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that could also just be like their wording made it seem like more than it really is. Because
Yeah,
they
maybe.
do explain.
But anyways, for a little bit more specifics, each one of these tokens after each lap is going to give you 200 XP up to, like I said, 230 XP per token if you're there for over 100 tokens in 100 laps. And so, for example, assuming you trade all your tokens in at once, I guess that means you have to trade someone to do this. That means your first hour nets you 17k bonus XP. That's on top of the original XP you get, obviously.
It's pretty big.
And then 18.2k every hour after that.
Up to 18.4.
Yeah, up to 18.4. That's on top of the XP you earn, which puts it at almost 66,000 XP per hour, which is very high.
Yeah, it's about the same as you get from Prifddinas.
Yeah, which is like
Song of the Elves.
yeah, and also like really high agility. Yeah, it's like 87 or something.
I don't know if it's 87. It is definitely over 80.
Yeah, it's definitely really high.
83 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really high.
And you don't get the money while doing Prifddinas course, and you don't get the Marks of Grace or anything like that. You get, shards or whatever, which is like practically nothing.
That one does suck. If it's a rooftop, they should have shards and the marks, honestly.
So yeah, it's, one of the best per hour. I mean, obviously Sepulcher is still going to be better, but that's literally the best per hour.
Yeah.
So, the fact that it's encroaching on that with XP and you get 3 million GP per hour or whatever, it's kind of crazy. Like whoever thought this up
for the risk.
Like I said, whoever thought this up was not thinking. That's just what it seems like.
It's too much. A little bit too much.
And again, we are pairing people that like running in circles with PKers.
Dangerous combo.
What a crazy idea. I've never PK'd, and whoever invented this has really never PK'd.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but that's questions 9 through 11. Should we add an opt-in system that allows players to earn gold and blight supplies at the Wilderness Agility? If the
We'll get to this. You can say it, but we'll get to this.
Yeah, I'll just skip it. I'll skip it because I don't want to confuse anyone.
Okay.
Skipping that question, question 11. Should we add a stackable token to the Wilderness Agility course that players can hand in for extra XP with increasing XP modifiers? I think it's just a little bit too extra.
Yeah, it's weird.
Stuff.
It's weird.
The XP, I think, would be fine. Maybe the XP and the tokens. Or the gold. Adding both of those is too much. I think if it's the gold, it might just be like botted too much.
Yeah.
Personally.
Even if this wasn't in the wilderness, I would still think this was just a little too convoluted and kind of weird in general.
Finally, we have a rapid fire list of minor tweaks to wilderness content. So make the respawn timer of most wilderness NPCs 9 seconds to reduce downtime on Slayer tasks. Add more of the following NPCs. Bandits at the Wilderness Bandit Camp, Dark Warriors at the Dark Warriors Fortress, Rogues at Rogues Castle, Anaku, Hellhounds, Ice Giants, and Jellies in the Wilderness Slayer Cave. Shift the furniture in the Pirates' hideout so players can place a cannon. Add rune full helms, medium helms, and sims and the dragon longsword to the loot table for members only high-level bandits. Add more frequent coin drops to the high-level rogue variants. Increase superior monster spawn rate by 10% while on a Wildy Slayer task. And allow players to purchase imbued god capes for the cost of 250,000 gold. The current method of obtaining more capes will remain unchanged. So this is
Those are all going to be questions. We're not going to read through each of the next questions. But...
yeah, that is questions 12 through 24. Yep. This poll, we're going to go over the feedback in a second. But as a reminder, the poll starts on starts on March 1st and ends on March 8th.
Yeah, which is Friday to Friday.
Yeah, so with that, we could get into all the feedback.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to spend too much time going over the feedback because it's a lot of stuff we just said, but they've updated the numbers to make them a little bit less insane because people like me, I guess, were saying that these numbers are too high.
I'm going to have you go over it because I actually didn't read the feedback. I forgot to.
Yeah, sure. So essentially they just made it so originally... Tier 1 and Tier 2 people felt were a little too low.
Of the Wilderness Agility course.
Of the Wilderness Agility course. All of this is for the Wilderness Agility course currently. They felt it was too low, so you'd be getting, ramping up the GP too fast. So they just made it so it's laps 1 to 15 is rank 1, and then 16 to 30 is rank 2, up from their previous only by 5. They also made it so that the opt-in has been increased from 100k originally to 150. And they want to reiterate because they think someone didn't read this, that upon leaving, you will lose the money. So that includes logging out.
No, it does not get lost on log out. It's just if you leave.
The fee's not lost on log out, but the streak is.
Yeah.
Which is even more of the bigger thing, probably. So if you're like, oh, I'll just get to, lap 10 and then every 10 levels I'll log out if I see someone or something like that. You can't do that. When you can, you just lose money.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. We've also added another poll question for Amylase. So this is the one that I actually had you skip as a potential reward. So not only would this give you really good GP, really good XP, it would also give you Amylase crystals, which only come from Marks of Grace.
I think that they should do Amylase crystals and XP and get rid of the loot. If you're getting Amylase crystals, what's the point of the loot? The whole point of the loot, I feel like, was to replace the crystals.
Yeah, I don't know. This will just provide you everything you need. Why would you go anywhere else?
It's too much.
Why would you go anywhere
Even
else?
Even in Deep Wildy, 3 new things, it's just extra.
Yeah. Really weird. They even have it here breaking it down as if this would help at all. They tell you that on tier 1 you'll be getting 1 crystal per lap, Amylase crystal, and nearly 4 crystals per lap at tier 4.
So if you survive 60 laps without getting PK'd.
Yeah, this is 320 Amylase crystals per hour, which is double the Amylase from Marks of Grace at the Arty rooftops.
That's so much.
Crazy. So it is.
That would be without getting PK'd, but
yeah,
Jesus, too much.
Wow, this is crazy. Also, if that wasn't enough, they want to add medium clue scrolls from this as well.
I don't mind that if they do the loot.
Dude, They're just me like, oh, also you get D-bones, and also I think Bandos items will just drop from
Yeah.
here
You
now.
could also get raid
Um,
pet transmogs.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, you can't walk around looking like a bum. You got to get some pets.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They're
Who
really
invented
they're doing
this?
too much. They're
Wow.
doing way too much.
Wow. Clearly, I don't know, someone who's never played this game was doing this because I don't know how this got past everyone's
I'm just
like
confused. The
filters.
feedback made it even more crazy. So
Even
does that mean
crazier.
that the community wants more?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
Nuts.
We'll have to see how the poll goes. I'm
Don't worry though. This will all be mitigated because they're gonna make this single plus combat.
at least you're not going to get ganged up on by a bajillion people.
Yeah, because currently, not only would you get all that, but if they left it the way it is, it would allow you to box and just get away, even if someone comes to PK you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's how boxing works.
Nice.
So like, yeah, you just box your friend or box a skeleton. That they're gonna add to this area. They're thinking about adding skeletons to this area. Just to mess with you, I guess. So weird. But anyways, last thing is that we're open to adjusting the location of clue steps currently around the wilderness agility course because everyone will be here.
Apparently, yeah. They better change the clue steps if they end up doing all this.
This is so weird.
It's very weird.
And they have like several paragraphs talking about how this isn't that bad and how you have to be there for at least 23 laps, which is 16 minutes in order for it to actually be worthwhile. That's not very long, 16 minutes.
Depends on how much people are going to be camping here.
Yeah.
Within a year, though, probably you could find one.
Oh,
It's
and
not too bad.
also, we didn't mention, for anyone wondering or just doesn't know, they said one of the big. We're going to go over this in a second. So actually, just forget I said that. We're going to go over this in a second.
Okay, sure.
That was about the Fountain of Rune. So
We're literally just going to talk
yeah,
about
we're gonna talk about it in a second. Just because I remember that we forgot to, because they're talking about how like you can you can still escape from the PKers in the wilderness course area with a freeze log or an escape of reducing their hit points to 0, aka anti PKing.
Yeah.
But
killing them.
yeah, that reminded me of the Fountain of Rune, which we're actually just gonna roll into right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so a lot of people, I don't know why they think people glazed over this fact. This has always been a part of the Fountain of Rune, but it says, well, sorry, not always. They even say right here. It feels
for over 2 years.
it feels like always. As of November 2021, players are prevented from logging out for 3 seconds after casting any spell in the Fountain of Rune area. They think that they even say in the next sentence they think that they tucked this away and no one saw this.
I saw it.
This has been in the game for quite a time now.
I'm assuming that people were complaining about it and they're like, this has been in the game for 2.5 years.
No, what people were complaining about is that they're all like, some people were saying you could just log out.
Yeah.
And their Jagex is saying, oh, but there's 3 seconds. So you can't
time in the world.
You can't log out. And I'm thinking to myself, brother, have you ever logged into the Fountain of Rune? To get to it from the nearest teleport takes you like a minute. Like,
I think you might get a free telly there with a wilderness sword.
yeah, I mean, you better. I feel like for anyone that has tried to PK bots, for example, it's actually difficult for a good bot.
Because they could just run.
As soon as you pop up in their field of vision, whether that be on the map or in their field of vision, like physically, they immediately run the opposite direction and or log out.
Yeah.
So
much like me.
3 seconds, that means you have to run up to the most efficient logout macro and then attack them before they're able to log out. You're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 seconds isn't long enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. Like, we can read. So I don't know why they thought people just didn't see this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not long enough. So, yeah. I hate it when they word stuff like that. Like, oh, maybe you guys didn't see? Bro, you're talking to the RuneScape community. They'll tell you if a period is out of place. Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Wild thing to
We're a
say.
very invested community here.
Yeah, wild thing to say, dude. Why would people not read? Crazy, crazy. I am baffled.
He's
Baffled.
befuddled.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words at how dumb they think people are.
So I didn't read this. Why do they have 8 paragraphs?
Um,
This
uh,
is awful.
yeah, it's literally like
Sum it up for me.
legitimately like 7 paragraphs. So they're really just talking about how crazy it would be, and then like playing it, like downplaying it.
Oh, okay. Debate people there, like that aspect too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they say like I'll kind of like go through a little bit of it. So a lot of concerns about inflation as a result of this. I mean, those aren't real concerns. Those people that are saying that don't understand
It's the
inflation.
opposite of inflation. You're taking them out.
No, there's actually no change in value in the economy, so that's why the inflation doesn't really occur.
Yeah.
There's going to be more liquid,
Gold.
gold in the economy
No,
because
he's
of this.
gonna spin that
But
the wilderness agility course so he could stay longer.
I guess so. But the thing is, those plate bodies that are getting sold are going to get high alked by someone.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter whether you high alk them, you sell them, or a person doing this high alks them. It's still the same amount of money. It's not going to increase inflation. That's not how inflation works.
Yeah.
So this isn't a real thing, and that's pretty much just what they're saying. And they continue by defending that, saying that this is a unique moneymaker, and that it's rare for us to implement moneymakers that don't fall victim to things like giving out supplies and harming their value, aka adding inflation. This proposal is interesting in that it does serve as a strong moneymaker for anyone willing to take the risk required to get the most out of it. Yeah, but that the money is made is relatively self-contained.
I
Sure.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, kind of not really. It's not unique because you're just doing high elk, but okay. Uh, you're like, we removed a rune. That's unique. All right,
Yeah.
cool, dude. Anyways, yeah, I don't know why they think that is interesting. They've already had,
It's because it's in the wilderness and it's free, and you're making money
yeah, I guess so. But
without fighting.
to get to the point where this is a unique moneymaker, it would have to not exist. That's what unique means. And the fact that there are people running to KBD with lances means that this isn't unique.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. There's always been people, using risk out in the wilderness to make GP. So this isn't unique. Yeah, kind of a weird point there. Anyways, they bring up how, like I said earlier, the arrows would be 5.7 million GP per hour, and they're all like, but you'd have to be risking 8 million GP. Or, Jagex, people are going to do exactly what they did at the Revs, and they're going to pay all of Rod,
Overprotection.
they're going to pay him 4 million an hour, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to make 8 million an hour. What does that equal? 4 million an hour profit. Crazy. Big math time, dude. Big math time. So we're going to move on. Potential interesting side effects is that players gravitate towards this method. Wow. And they're saying that it's going to push the value of rune arrows or alks closer to their alk value, which is technically kind of good for some reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But and I mean they are right,
But you're mad, so disagree anyway.
no, I agree. It's kind of like a nothing point. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that'll happen. Um, what we're trying to get at is that you're not wrong. It's pretty profitable, but the risk you need to front load in the first place is unlike any other piece of wilderness content, excuse me, and makes it one of the most true to form high risk, high reward proposals. That is so wild for them to say that.
I mean, I don't think that's wrong.
No, people risk more doing bosses or PKing than they ever will high alking.
But that's what makes it unique is that they're not PKing, they're not bossing, they're just standing there menacingly making money.
Oh, so they just hate skillers. I understand, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think this is unique just because I mean, yeah, I don't really see how it could be unique. High risk, high reward. Um, yeah,
I think it's
I just
unique.
yeah.
I am personally too hot to argue it right now. Our oven's on and I'm dying.
Our oven is on.
That's why I'm kind of okay that I haven't read this because I'm just like sitting here and feeling like I'm melting. I don't know why I'm wearing a long sleeve and pants right now, but I'm
Yeah.
like, Jesus.
Yeah. I will not try to drag this out any longer
Because
than it
I'm dying.
needs to be. Just because it's really them trying to defend their stance when so many people see the problems in it, and like I don't I don't know how they think this will benefit the community in the long run or in the short run, to be fair.
Don't ever in their
I
life.
think it could help in the short term, like it'll get people there,
Yeah.
and then
We'll get PK.
then the bots and
And then
then the
we'll stop coming.
clans will happen, and everyone's like, oh, okay, this is just another rev caves, like why am I going here? And then they won't go there.
Yeah.
Or you'll run into people like me or other people that like PVM content, and they just will never go there to begin with.
I probably will never go there, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. And then they kind of go over like blocking teleports and stuff like that, and they reduce the price of god capes from the mage arena, imbued god capes down from 500k to 250, which is definitely a lot more reasonable.
Yeah.
And before they sign off, they have
Holy.
they say before we sign off, we'd like to say a quote unquote teeny bit more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more paragraphs.
Big.
Teeny update.
Teeny tiny, brother. Yeah, anyways, this is the part where they kind of talk about how they know more about Pete King.
They're trying to justify it.
Everything they say is better. There's definitely no bots or gold farmers or bad actors.
They don't say that.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. They go on for years and years and years about how this is a good decision. And then they do say something. I want to see it where they say something about what I said earlier. What was it?
Which aspect?
Um,
You said a lot of things. Someone who hasn't logged in in a while, you have some strong feelings
here it
about
is.
this.
I found it. We're not
Oh.
looking to quote unquote bait people into the wilderness. We're looking to improve the variety and incentive for people who are perhaps on the fence to see if they like what the area is all about and who might go on to breathe new life into the PvP community by learning more and immersing themselves in the activity.
And you think that they're baiting them?
I think this is one of the most obvious baits and one of the worst poll blogs I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think it's that dramatic. I don't love it. I don't necessarily want this stuff to pass, but I don't think it's... There's probably been worse.
Yeah, there's probably been worse. The fact that this is one of the worst, in my opinion, is because it's so misguided.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how you think this is a good idea. I don't PK, and this is obviously still a bad idea.
I'll have to go and read and see what PKers think.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna.
I'm just gonna vote, so it doesn't matter to me. But
I think there's gonna be PKers that want money, and so they might like this, and then the PKers that actually like PKing, and they're probably not gonna like this. I don't see how they would. This wouldn't add more PvPers to the game. It just adds more people that
essentially adding more people running around with spades.
Yeah,
Like,
or more people that have some risk.
mm-hmm.
So it's like they're not gonna fight back. You're not gonna get into PvP to breathe new life into the community, anti-PKing from your the get go. Like,
yeah,
like what? How do you get into something doing the most advanced technique? I don't understand that, but whatever.
I did not think he was gonna have such strong feelings about this blog, so that's kind of funny.
It's not even like I have that strong of feelings. It's just, it literally doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how I think about it, it's like, I don't know how they could have thought of this, said it out loud, and then continued to think that way.
Okay. I don't feel that strongly about it.
It's just weird. I don't know.
Let us know your feedback, please, anyone, because I want to know what other people think.
Yeah.
If Roberts just hates it for some reason,
I don't
it's
know.
a good reason.
Yeah, I've just rambled forever, so we can move on to questions.
No, we can't. We can move on to Runefest.
Oh, gross.
Not gross, Roberts. So they did.
This is an L week, dude. This is an L week.
There's some weird stuff about Runefest that I don't understand. So they did a Runefest First Details live stream earlier today, actually. Let me just get down to the details. So Runefest will be held at the NEC in Birmingham, UK on September 7th through 8th, 2024. What's new about this Runefest? It's a 2-day event with a more traditional Runefesty Saturday with a focus on the stage and Sunday dedicated to the community and panels. It's a separate event within Insomnia Gaming Festival. New So they this is the part that I didn't catch on. That Robert pointed out that they're having a mini festival inside of a festival.
So crazy, dude.
That
is so wild.
I'm so confused by this. They're inside of the Insomnia Gaming Festival and they're like, this is the RuneScape corner. So you're technically buying tickets for the Insomnia Gaming Festival.
Yeah. For anyone wondering, the reason that this is weird is because most people have heard of Comic-Cons or anime expos. And imagine just if RuneScape was in one of those.
Yeah, it's just in the middle of something much bigger.
Yeah, like imagine going to like the Artist Alley, but it's RuneScape.
Yeah. Interesting.
So lame, dude.
So there's a community zone, tournaments, cool new RuneScape products like our board game and more, and a RuneFest camping area so you can stay overnight within the NEC. Kind of cute.
Yeah,
it's kind of cute.
Guess so.
Sounds
kind of sweaty, but
stupid. I'm kind of sweaty.
I mean, you're
just hanging out with a bunch of gamers just sweating, all playing on mobile.
Yeah. Not that I have anything against these people, but that's as close to like being like homeless as you can be, just not on the street.
Jesus. Some of the things you can expect from RuneFest too. I should have read this first. You could be among the first to learn about the future of your favorite RuneScape games at the main stage, including never seen before revealed. It was game with an S in parentheses, and I just made it sound like I'm insane.
You remember when they said like they were working on another game?
It's just RuneScape 3.
No, do you remember?
No, vaguely?
No, there was like I don't know if it was like years ago at this point, but there was like another game that Jagex was working on, and then I'm pretty sure they stopped working on it.
Probably. Maybe they're gonna announce it again.
No way.
Get hands-on with or playtest some of the latest content. Meet up with your community, plus your favorite J-mods and creators in real life. Tackle real-world challenges that mimic the ones from RuneScape. Time to earn those skilled chips. That actually sounds kind of fun. I don't know what that would mean.
And
I'm gonna parkour.
By this, they're actually alluding to you running laps while getting stabbed. just like the wilderness agility course.
It's extra funny because people keep making jokes about Birmingham and how you're gonna get stabbed if you go there.
I's is gonna be at the end with a little butter knife, just taking a couple, swipes.
Witness or take part in awesome cosplay. Experience big stage events, entertainment, and a party. Drop in at the dedicated LAN area with a 99 party. The 99 party sounds like it could be cutie.
yeah.
Dad, why did you say it like that?
It could be cutie, I guess so. That's an adjective.
Cutie.
Yeah, it could be cutie, dude.
Line. Get your hands on unique RuneFest merch. My eyes are like watering. I said that could be cutie.
Yeah, the 99s, that could be
cutie. So what is Insomnia Gaming Festival? Tell us. Well, actually, no. I could tell you. It's the only way that RuneFest could afford to happen for some reason, which is weird because they have a lot of money.
So apparently, Insomnia is a okay.
Just for word. I don't even know what Insomnia is.
Yeah. So it says, from its beginnings back in 1999. I just want to read like the entire synopsis of this entire thing. Essentially, just Insomnia is a gaming convention. It's now the UK's biggest gaming festival, and it takes place in the same way, in the very same building as Runefest. Okay,
taking place in the very same building.
Yeah, I didn't read it weird. That's just how they wrote it. Just a few steps away. So
a few steps away, Runefest is inside of it.
Yeah, it's inside of it. So
the Runefest is calling from inside of the Insomnia.
Yeah, Runefest though, just so anyone knows, if you have tickets to Insomnia, you need separate tickets to get into Runefest.
Which makes no sense, because if you get the RuneFest tickets, you also get access to Insomnia.
Yeah, so it's like how a square is a square and a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. It's like that.
Yeah.
So
you'll get to go to both.
If you have access to RuneFest, you have access to Insomnia. If you have access to Insomnia, you don't have access to RuneFest.
Yeah. It's just our mini festival.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah.
Anyways, RuneFest is its own separate experience. There's plenty to see at Insomnia too. 2024 marks the 25th anniversary of Insomnia. That's a quarter of a century, obviously. I don't know why they said that.
Obviously.
Socialize with other gamers if that's what you like to do. Check out the exhibits if you prefer that. And get nostalgic in the retro gaming zone if you want to feel old.
You live in fear of is that we're going to go and the Insomnia thing's going to be way cooler than the Runefest part.
Yeah. It's not a fear. It's a guarantee.
We're going to go into the Runefest part and be like, oh, you want to go back out there? That's what I'm really afraid of.
Anyways, though, you can be disappointed on the premium or on the cheap, depending on when you order your tickets.
Yeah.
So for the first 500 early birds, you get the worm of 25 pound because it'll be 150 pounds if you buy it within the first 500.
It's 290 USD. Sorry. 190 USD.
I'm like, yo, the dollar has fallen.
That math ain't mathin'.
And then 175 pound if you order it for any time after the first 500.
Which I think was around 220 USD.
Yeah, they don't even have an exact time, but tickets will go on sale March 27th at quote unquote midday GMT.
Yeah, so Runefest tickets also include access to the 3-day Insomnia Festival within the ticket price, so they get an extra day too. Plus,
Huge.
a goodie bag packed with loot to commemorate your attendance.
Yeah,
which
dude.
is pretty cute.
So you can go there, get there early, sleep on the floor, and then be ready to check out all the new content that's surely coming out of Runefest.
The worst part is that I really desperately want to go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and go.
They say, what if I can't go? And they're all like,
sucks to suck, idiot.
Don't worry. There's a live stream, so it's like you can be there sleeping on the floor with us.
Can you imagine how sad I will be if I watch the live stream and see all my friends hanging out in the background? I would be in tears.
Yeah.
I have to go. I was gonna say something else. Oh, I don't know if this is true. I saw like a tweet about how there's only gonna be 2,000 Runefest tickets for sale.
It's a rumor.
What does that mean?
A rumor.
Oh, it's a rumor. Okay. Well, hopefully not, because I feel like that's potentially not enough.
Yeah, definitely not enough.
Yeah, I hope it's not like Comic-Con, but if it is like Comic-Con, which is notoriously hard to get tickets for, I'm going to have every computer, phone, everything pulled up trying to get us tickets.
Yeah, good luck getting tickets. But that is
me, Robert.
No, I was just saying for anyone listening, good luck getting tickets.
I thought you were just gonna sit here and watch me struggle.
I will. But that is gonna be it for the Runefest information. Sorry for sounding like such a downer this week, but sometimes Jagex makes it difficult.
You know what? I'm just gonna say the 99 party sounds cutie, and I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, 99 parties sound cutie for sure.
And the party.
Yeah, okay.
Just everyone just doing in the middle of this festival.
Jesus. But probably very true.
Oh my god.
Anyways, we can move on to some questions from this week.
Yeah. So starting out with RuneScape questions. This one is a two-part question from Harger. By what percentage do you think the world map will grow on the day sailing is introduced? Only counting areas you can walk on, so not by water. I would have thought a lot if it was water. If it's just areas you could walk on, like a minuscule amount, to be honest. I think it should be added like docks.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 to 20%.
Really, that's actually kind of a lot. I was thinking less than 10, because I don't think that they're going to add all the islands at first. Like all the cool stuff, I feel like will take a second to get added.
I think they might add most of the islands.
Most stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, because it is a skill. They
don't really do expansions for skills.
That's true.
So if they don't add it at first, I don't know when they would add it.
Then I'll say 20%.
Okay.
And what percentage do you want it to grow? And Hargreaves said, this question is basically to see how wrong you are in the future.
Yeah.
I want to see more like 30%.
I'm perfectly fine with 10 to 15.
Yeah, you said 10 to 20 at first.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally fine with 1 to 3%.
No, I'm fine with 10 to 15.
Yeah, 0 to 1.
It's only a 5% difference.
Next question is from Matt on Discord. Do you think there will ever be a major update to Castle Wars? If so, what would you like? When I was a kid, everyone wanted a Guthix team whose goal was to prevent the flag from being stolen at all. I think that's a very cute idea. Unfortunately, I don't think there will be an update, but like not 100% feeling that way, because they have been updating some random stuff.
Yeah.
If they do, I think it's years away though.
Yeah.
I just wish Castle Wars is so much fun. It's basically just capture the flag. I would wish in an update that it makes it somehow so teams can't like super crazy win by a lot.
Yeah.
Because it seems like in the beginning, that's when it's decided who's going to win. it's not really even throughout. It's like someone gets an advantage in the beginning, and you know that person's going to win the entire game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that would be, but something to make it more like tense.
I don't think there will be an update, but I do think I thought of two interesting things
Okay.
because I never played it, but you told me it's like Capture the Flag,
Yeah. I played it. It's
which
fun.
this is going to sound weird, but there are Capture the Flag games in two games. One you will surely not think of. The one of them is World of Warcraft. What I think they could add to it to combat that exact point that you just mentioned is there's a mechanic in arenas, which is 2v2, 3v3, like style combat.
Hmm.
It's called dampening. And essentially, the longer the match lasts, the more damage you can take.
Oh, so you can mess people up more if it's taking forever.
But I was thinking that could be a way to supplement one team that seems to be doing poorly.
Hmm.
So, like, maybe the more points one team has, the more damage the opposite team does, or maybe the more defense or more health, something like that.
Something. Yeah.
Some kind of benefit to make it so,
The underdogs have help.
yeah, like the people that just lost now have something in their favor going into the next point.
Yeah. It also makes it hard because a lot of people go there and just AFK, which is fine. But if you're on the team that has more people AFKing than the other, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, and then this will like stack up. So like if I don't know what the points go to, let's say it's 5, then like let's say you get 3 points to 0, then the people that have 0 will have like 30% more instead of 10% more.
Okay.
So like eventually, hopefully, the people will have such an advantage that they get some points so they know it doesn't feel like they're just losing.
Yeah.
And it might even be fun like if you're in a free to play Castle Wars world, hitting like 40 with a rune sim because, you just have
You do.
so much of a buff. Maybe that would be kind of
Yeah.
interesting. And then another thing I think would be cool, and this is from Halo. This is that game. It also has Capture the Flag,
Okay.
and it's actually I think used to be one of their more popular game modes. But it's cool because they have these items that spawn that they're called like supers, essentially like super weapons, and it'll be either a sniper or a rocket launcher. Both can like one hit kill people. But I think it'd be cool if there was like a chest that spawned in like kind of near the middle of Castle Wars, and if you get there and you loot it, you could get like a god sword. Even in like free to play worlds.
Yeah.
Like that'd be kind of cool because like it gives you the
You still
effect.
put your own gear
Yeah.
to Castle Wars, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. So I just imagine like you don't keep the god sword obviously. You could just use it for the time being until you die.
Actually.
Or
You're
in a lot.
the only free to play person with a god sword. Well,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
in the game, just outside of the game.
Ever.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Actually, I like that one more.
I think that'd be kind of cool because then it's like one, you look kind of cool because the god sword gives you that effect. But then also if you run up and spec someone for like their whole health, that'd be kind of cool too.
Maybe not the whole health, so it's not too crazy.
Yeah, but well then everyone's like, oh, he has a god sword, let's kill him.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
fun.
yeah, it's not like that crazy.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like that.
I don't know, just things from other games that made them interesting.
Yeah. That one's a fun one. One in real life question as well. Matt asked, what is your favorite fruit in real life that is also found in OSRS? Mine is for sure banana. I eat like 3 to 4 a day. They give me instant energy, and they're also free at my office. Bananas are fine.
It's a lot of bananas.
That
dude.
is a lot of bananas, Matt. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a lot of bananas.
The texture of bananas starts to gross me out after I have like maybe 3/4 of banana. I can never finish them because then I just start to be like, this is a really weird texture. Right now it sounds good. I know you can account for me doing this. I never finish them because I start to get grossed out.
Yeah, she'll
They're
leave the last few bites.
They're like too mushy. I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder how many bananas you'd have to eat for the radiation to be a problem.
Is Matt gonna die of radiation poisoning
No,
via
like-
bananas?
Like in one sitting. Like I'm sure you'd probably get too full for it to be a problem, but like theoretically.
I have no idea.
For anyone that doesn't know, there's a lot of radiation in bananas for some reason.
All bananas?
Yeah, like if you
Why?
take like a I don't even know what you call it, like a
A tester.
yeah,
thing. I mean, you
it's yeah, whatever it's
goes-
called. Yeah, exactly. So it measures radiation. Like for some reason, bananas are really high.
That's weird.
Yeah, not like
Full Matt.
danger high. Obviously, they're not selling bananas
Careful.
that are full of radiation, but it's higher than normal.
Okay, weird. My favorite fruit in real life, that's an OSRS, is watermelon. I love watermelon.
Watermelon.
It's really yummy. I
Yeah.
can eat a lot of watermelon.
It's good. Mine's apples.
You were gonna say mango, and I was like, "There's no mangoes in the game," and he's like,
Yeah.
"I pretend there's mangoes," and I was like, "That's
The
delusional."
papayas kind of look like mangoes.
Maybe.
I mean, it's mostly because of the poor quality of the picture,
Yeah,
but
that.
yeah.
I didn't say pineapple.
No, apples have always been my favorite fruit.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So
We
I'd be foolish to not say that. So
I was gonna say strawberry, and then I saw watermelon, and I was like, "Ooh, watermelon is genuinely one of my favorite fruits anyway."
strawberry's not a fruit.
It was on the list of
It's a
fruits.
berry.
Oh my god! Stop!
Is a blueberry a fruit?
Stop!
Probably not.
Yes,
It's a berry.
that's it for our Q&A this week.
That is it.
If you want to ask us a question next week,
I guess you can go to our Discord. So go to our discord.gg/Bunebape. We have a question section. Feel free to ask us there or ask in any of our socials. We'd be more than happy to answer your game or out of game questions.
yeah. So our socials are TikTok and Twitter are Bunebapeosrs. Our YouTube, Instagram, and
You're like, we actually don't have any socials.
our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch are all Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. Reminder, not long after this comes out, I will be doing a fundraising stream, so stop by twitch.tv/Bunebape, and maybe I will be in a Sandwich Lady cosplay doing Callisto. You could join in.
No sandwich.
It's funny, so you go to this in real life 99 party.
Dude, random fact that I mentioned to someone the other day is a lot of Aussies say, instead of sandwiches, they say sangas.
Okay, that's weird. I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm gonna ask Australians answer for me. Do you say that?
Yeah, let us know. But anyways, thanks for listening. We hope you all enjoyed it, and let us know your hot takes. And we'll see
Please.
you.
He has a lot.
We'll see you next time.
See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Can you stop it? Bye.
You're so small.